Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another GC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at all the brand new heroic cards here in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM, talking about if any of them are worth picking up, which ones might be, which ones not so much. And before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it, and let's start off with the lowest overall cards in the drop. Obviously, the cards that I'm most excited about from this drop are the opals. I think y'all could probably just tell that by looking at the names, because Dejounte Murray and Eddie Jones, both generally pretty good in 2K, both have the potential to be very solid cards. Scottie Barnes is going to be too expensive. The rest of the cards, realistically, probably won't be that great. So I'll just tell you that right now to start the video. If you don't want to watch this whole video, that is my thought process. But we are going to go over each card individually, of course, and talk about what they do well and what they maybe don't quite as much. And with that being said, we do have, starting off, 6'6" Ron Harper. This card, he's interesting. He's a very good defensive point guard at 6'6", and he'll be extremely cheap. But he's not a very good shooter. He's not a very good dunker. Like, he can do both those things okay, but he's not great at either of them. He's a little bit on the slower end for a point guard as well, which I find a little bit unique. I do think as a whole, he's going to be, I don't know. Realistically, I think he's going to be fine, but I don't think he's going to be anything particularly special by any means. That is what I will say for right now, is I don't see anything particularly special about this card. I mean, defensively, he's good, but I don't think he's good enough defensively to overcome a not great jump shot on normal. Doesn't, I mean, Paul George escape is nice, but he's got basic dribble styles of point guard. He's a unique card for sure, but I'm certainly not like extremely excited about him either, is what I will say. I think that's a pretty fair way to put it. He doesn't strike me as special by any means, is basically what I will say. So with that being said, I think as a whole, that's a no-go for me on Ron Harper. Tom Gugliotta, 6'10" with 87 speed, 86 three ball, really athletic. Defensively, he's not atrocious. Pardon my yawn. I was up way too late playing MLB The Show last night. But like, look, extremely athletic, big, small forward is nice. Problem is, Aaron Gordon's jump shot is really ugly, not a good jump shot at all. So it takes away again from what he can be as a card, definitely limits how exciting he is. There's no doubt about that. And so again, in my opinion, you're looking at realistically a card that's just, I don't know, he's just kind of there again in my thought process anyway. Not a special card by any means, because if he had a better jump shot and maybe, like, again, better dribble style than basic, you'd be looking at a pretty interesting card, because there is a lot to like about him potentially, but probably not quite good enough, in all honesty, to be a really high level card or anything along those lines. So again, for me, I'm probably gonna sit here and be like, yeah, not quite doing it for me. Again, is my thought process. So that's 0 for 2 probably because of the jump shot. Marques Johnson, the problem with this card, I mean, he's got good size, he's a very good athlete, he's 73 speed and agility, but he's not a great shooter, and defensively he's very mediocre. Mid interior, mid steal, mid block. Missing a lot of key badges as well on the defensive end of the court and stuff. That's just, again, not gonna cut it overall. And so that I would say that makes him pretty darn mediocre in his own right. So meh. That's my thought process again, is that this card is not going to be anything particularly special or anything along those lines. So with that being said, not great on the diamonds. I mean, Googs and Ron Harper are interesting on paper, but I don't think they're very good. This Mel Daniels, he's only got a 75 three ball, 75 steal. The rest of his stats are pretty good. He's very athletic, good speed, good agility, good defender. 90 or 6'9" with 7 wingspan's a little bit of the smaller end at this point. He is an elite rebounder, but honestly, I mean, he just looks like a lot worse card. Like, default big is an ugly jump shot. He's like a lot worse Bob McAdoo, and again, that's just not going to be good enough at this point in the year. It's the honest truth. So again, in my opinion, you're looking at a card who's definitely not very exciting. That is for sure. So again, not too great at all, probably for Mel Daniels. I mean, look, what else is there to say about these drops? Gus Williams, he's a 6'2" point guard. He might as well be 5 foot. 6'3" wingspan. He's got a 65 driving dunk and 83 ball and no defense. Basic dribble style. Jason Tatum escape as well. Bad sigs. I mean, goodness gracious, ugly card. I gotta be honest. That is really, really ugly. Like, this card is not exciting at all. So not great. Definitely not great. Not very exciting there either. So there you go. Next up is going to be Bailey Howell, who does have pretty decent stats and badges. I mean, he's an okay athlete, he's a decent shooter, not horribly slow, not a bad defender either. Like, again, fine, I guess. Not exciting, but fine enough is what I'll say. So there you go. Bailey Howell, whatever. I mean, jumpers, DeMar DeRozan jump shot though. Not good sigs either. Like, again, the jumper's going to kill the card. The stats are fine, but he's nothing special, and that ain't going to do it again. So there you go. 046 really, in all honesty, on all the pink diamonds below. These are the most interesting cards, obviously, in this drop, are the opals, because they might be relatively affordable, potentially. And I think as a whole could actually be some really good cards. Eddie Jones is 96 speed, 95 three ball, 95 driving dunk. Defensively, he's awesome. I wish he had a higher interior, higher block, higher strength. That's pretty much my biggest criticism of the card. I think he's pretty solid. I gotta say, I think he looks really, really solid on paper. So I would say, I mean, the badges are awesome. I just wish the interior was a little higher, mainly. Release is not very quick. It's not a bad jump shot. Ja escape isn't great. Chris Paul in the back isn't great. Pro 2 fades really nice. Devin Booker dribble style. I mean, he's pretty good. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's like the best card in the game, but I do think he is a pretty solid card. So if you're looking for somebody to pick up, he could definitely be a pretty darn solid option. Honestly, the card that I am the most excited about today though is Dejounte Murray. He's got good interior. He's got 85 driving dunk, 93 ball, 97 speed and agility. Good enough slasher, good shooter. Great speed and agility. Defensively, he's really solid. Has a bunch of good defensive hoffs. 6'5" with a 6'10" wingspan. Has half set shot, half posterizer. A bunch of half playmaking badges, including hands for days and lightning launch. Releases them very quick. He got his own dribble style. He's got Steph escape though, which is really, really nice. I don't really remember how that dribble style is, but as a whole, he looks really, really solid. Definitely a very, very interesting card there. That Curry escape really elevates how interesting he has the potential to be as well. So I'm definitely intrigued by Dejounte Murray. That is for sure. So very, very solid looking card. There's no doubt about that. And then Scottie Barnes, who is the final card in this drop. 95 speed, 85 three ball, 90 driving dunk. Defensive stats are really, really good. He is going to be a very solid card. The problem with him is that he's going to also cost like a lot of MT. I don't know how much Scottie Barnes is going to wind up being, but because he's so rare, he's going to probably be a million MT. He's a 6'7" small forward. Defensively, he's awesome, but his jumper, even on very quick, probably isn't super elite. Rush dribble style is nice, but Embiid escape is not. Neither is LaMelo behind the back. Again, it's hard to get excited about this card is basically my thought process. So for me, again, it's just kind of like meh. With how rare these cards actually are, it's hard to get super excited about this card as a whole. But those are, again, just my thoughts. You don't have to agree with me. And I think he'll be pretty solid, all things considered. Just very rare. So the Raptors fans, I feel bad for y'all because they dropped Brandon Ingram, they dropped Scottie Barnes, they dropped DeMar DeRozan, a bunch of Raptors players who have not been accessible because they've been so expensive. So that's unfortunate. But I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I will be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.